Si mnajua Mheshimiwa Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga? Si mnajua hivyo? Si mnajua baba na mimi tumetoka mbali? Na mliona jana sisi tumeungana, serikali ya Kenya, Wakenya wote na jumuiya ya East Africa, na tumesema tunamuombea baba awe ndio chairman wa Africa Union Commission, atuongoze kama bara la Afrika. Nyinyi watu hapa Migori, mtamuombea baba jameni? Mtamuombea atuongoze Afrika? Wale wanasema tutamuombea nione kwa mkono. Bas, ndio sisi wote tuungane tuwe timu moja.
Baba akienda hivi, jitayarishe uanze kufuata Babu Owino. Kama unataka uwe safe, fuata Babu Owino. Wale ambao watafanya kazi na sisi, tutafanya kazi nao. Wale ambao watafungua vita na mimi, nitawakimbiza mpaka chini ya kitanda yao.
There's been a call of other things. I hear, I don't know if the cabinet has been dissolved or stuff like that. That is like putting balm on a wound. What we demand, and what I personally think is ready to happen, is that the entire Kenya Kwanza administration, led by Mr. Ruto, must vacate power. The call that Ruto must go is not an idle call. It's a call whose time has come. It's a call whose time has come. Mr. Ruto told us that criminals were on the streets. He has not produced a single criminal. You cannot be told lies every day.
Senator Omtata.
Yes, Mr. Speaker.
Just have your seat. I made myself very clear on how we are going to conduct ourselves during debate on this motion. Inasmuch as we suspended points of order, I said let us be responsible in the way we debate and let us be factual. You cannot call the president Mr. Ruto. This is not a Kamkunji. This is the Senate of the Republic of Kenya. Proceed.
Okay, I can call him Dr. Ruto. And President Ruto. I'm finishing. Dr. Ruto, His Excellency the President.
Proceed.
But he never ceased being a minister, so all those titles apply to him, if my English is correct. So I'm demanding that President Ruto vacates office as the only honorable thing to do. He's unable to balance our budget. It has collapsed. Everything around him is collapsing. So you cannot say that his juniors should bear the burden. The ball stops with him, and the call that President Ruto must go is a call that must be applied. And as they say, a fish begins rotting with the head. So, and among my people they say, a river does not flow higher than its source. And when you look at the sun, you must blink. Justice is crying out. Our children have died, something that has never happened in this country. The president has called them criminals. And the president cannot continue sitting in power when the children have died. And he said you do anything at whatever cost. When the Constitution says you can't do anything at whatever cost. So my call is to associate my voice with those who are saying that the president vacates office. There's no room for all these things we are doing here, and we start off with a new slate. Mr. Speaker, sir, anything less than that will not avenge the blood that has been spilled on our streets. A street that is hallowed, a street that is recognized in the Constitution as an arena for engaging politically, as the arena whereby when this institution fails, the people of Kenya invoke Article 1 and go to engage. When you desecrate such a venue, you don't do anything. There's not even a call that these things should be investigated. Instead, they're trying to say that we go and have dialogue to assage, to see, I don't know how to distort what is happening, to do whatever, to see how. I just look at these people like prison guards who are fighting for who becomes the chief warden. Then they learn that there's a prison break. So they all forget about what they were fighting for. They say the first thing we must do is to ensure that this prison is not destroyed. Because their business is the prison. Their business is to keep the people in the prison. So they are now coalescing, forgetting about the fight they were having, who becomes the chief warden. Now they are saying the prison must be kept intact. We're not going to allow that. This country has moved. The government that has to govern this country must govern by law. And, Mr. Speaker, sir, I reiterate my words that if really the president values this country, he should do the honorable thing, fall on his sword. President Ruto, fall on your sword and retain, if you have to retain in order. And retain in.
Well, 1 minute, you wind up your thoughts, Senator Mtata. Just 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, thank you. What I was saying is that, like in the old days of the Roman soldiers, when they felt that they had brought dishonor to the country, and they were even, the dishonor was so bad that they could not even let another person kill them, they fell on their swords and died. That's the only way they regained their honor. And the only way Ruto can regain in honor is for him to fall on his sword and let the Kenya Kwanza administration die, so that Kenya can have a new beginning. With those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, sir, I thank you.
One of the things we must do as we organize for this murderer to go home is to ensure that we have a voter's card. You cannot kill us and lead us. Ruto has been killing young people. Abductions, people are still missing, he's still abducting people. And we're saying a murderer cannot lead this country. We can't allow a murderer to continue leading us. So tunasema kwamba, whatever form or shape, whatever how we do it, he must go. The murderer called Ruto must go and make sure you have a voter's card. Kwa huyu muuaji lazima aende. Na kama ni rafiki ya Mungu, tunauliza Mungu shingapi, tupatie Mungu kitu. Ndio Mungu rudi yetu. You know, he says, oh, but actually, I think he works with the devil, because you can't be a murderer and you love God. You can't kill young people and you love God. You must be a very evil person. So I hope that he has nightmares for killing young people for protesting, and he's still abducting people. Ruto must go, get a voter's card.
Thank you.
But still, mandamano lazima.
All right, Bonnie. Moving forward.
I'm on a break. I'll be back, bro.
2027.
Do you have a voter's card, bro?
I do have a voter's card.
So go and tell everyone who is watching, wherever you are, you need to have a voter's card. Ukikupata kama una kitu una voter's card.
Nyaunye, thank you so much.
Usikubali kiongozi yeyote wakati wewe unaongea mambo ya umoja wananchi wa Kenya, mwingine aongee mambo ya kutenganisha wananchi wa Kenya. Usikubali. Na usikubali kuuziwa uoga ya kuwa kuna kiongozi mwenye anaweza mobilize eneo moja ama nyingine ataitenge na Wakenya wengine.
I want to ask our young leaders to be measured when they speak about their community wakiwa nje kwa wageni. Hata kama iko shida nyumbani, hiyo ni mambo ya kupeleka nje. Hata kama mamako ako na macho moja na umeenda ugenini umepata msichana mrembo, you don't go to talk ill of your mother to please the mother of the girl you want to marry.
Tukiwa hapa Joro tuwaeleze wafanye nini. Wacha hata kuweka sufuria kwa kichwa. Tunawaambia waweke nyungu. Waweke nyungu hata ikiwa na getheri. Hakuna mkate nusu. na hakuna handshake na hakuna kitu atafanya.
Si mnajua hata hii barabara tulikuja tukaanzisha kule Kapteni, lakini ikakwama njiani kwa sababu ya kisirani ya handshake na ule mtu ati ule mtu anataka handshake. Yani mimi nataka niwaulize mimi nataka niwaulize nyinyi, hata nyinyi mkinipima mimi ni mtu ya kubale mambo ya handshake kweli?
Hiyo mmependa sana hiyo.
Madam Speaker, I was in Azimio in the last general election. But after election, through invitation, I managed to join Kenya Kwanza government. And by joining, we happen to have majority in the Senate and majority in the National Assembly. However, Madam Speaker, the President was very wise, maybe enough, to have considered those that have supported him and give them cabinet consideration. However, 2 years have passed. August next month, 2 years would have lapsed in the first term of government. It is about time for the President to be able to really look very, very deeply into whether or not political reward has really managed to help him manage the political government into delivering the result that is required. I say this because I have first-hand experience on many issues. I have examples of cabinet secretaries. I am a co-principal or in Kenya Kwanza, but I have cabinet secretaries in this government that have tried to really look for, try to make phone calls to, not for personal issue, but issues affecting the public that have elected us into office to represent them. Phone calls are not responded to. Messages are not responded to. And when you walk to the office that is supposed to be providing services, the occupant of the offices are not in the office. A period of 6 months have passed to the level that I decided to take my frustration to the President of the Republic of Kenya and share with him trivial issues that could have been managed at the Cabinet Secretary's office, which is their mandate to do, and the political leaders have a responsibility of representation, which is a critical role that they need to undertake on behalf of the people that elected them into office. And only for the President to call and share the same issues I would have shared with the respective Cabinet Secretary. And I was asked to go and see the Cabinet Secretary. 6 months down the line, I am unable to see that Cabinet Secretary. Now the question I ask myself, my issues are very minor. I can overlook and forget about it. But the question is, who is managing the political government of President Ruto? Who is managing? If the Cabinet Secretaries do not understand their role, that everything must be done by the President of the Republic of Kenya, trivial issues that the President should not even speak to, issues that a Cabinet Secretary needs to attend to. And instead, what we have are Cabinet Secretaries that are working.
Senator Keroche, can you please consult in
What we have are Cabinet Secretaries that are working as CEOs of private entities. They talk to who they want, be in the office when they want, and they make feel-good appointments that are picture smart. The other issue, as I observed, because this is an excellent moment of reflection, where they have dumped our president into launching projects that the procurement process has not been even finished.